No! Why do I keep doing that? Hey, in today's video, we're going to be talking about what I call the dirtiest word in golf. And just in case you were wondering, no, it is not the dreaded SH word. Either the one that ends in IT or the one where you hit it way in here, the word that we're not ever allowed to say because it's so contagious. But right after this, I'm going to show you what people tell me all the time plagues them the most, the thing that makes them tear their hair out. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. If you get value out of this video, hit like and subscribe for more. Okay, so it's not that SH word, but instead, the dirtiest word in golf is consistency. This is the one thing that by far the most golfers, when I meet them, complain about. They say, Steve, if you could just show me how to be more consistent. I hit the ball reasonably far enough. I'm pretty good when I'm good, but I just am all over the place. I am inconsistent. So where would we begin? My dad used to always say, if you want to be a millionaire, copy what millionaires do. Now with that same logic, we could also say, if you want to be consistent at golf, copy those who are consistent at golf. So let's give that a shot. Now what you've got to understand is that maintaining a good, solid, consistent golf swing takes maintenance. All the most consistent golfers maintain their fundamentals daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. I could be sitting on the sofa here watching TV, and I could just have an old 9-iron sitting next to the sofa, and I can just be practicing putting my proper grip on there. So if you want to be consistent, certainly you've got to be a master of a good golf grip. Now there are, of course, a number of variations that will work, but some fundamental things are you've got to have the back of the left hand pointing at the target, more or less, and the front of the right hand or the trail hand pointing at the target. So opposing palms, gripping it at the base of the fingers, what I like to call the vacuum seal formed. Both sides of each hand has a vacuum seal. You can even practice your suppleness by waggling it, and then you'd start all over again. So just in a few minutes time during a commercial break, I can fit my left hand on here, slide the right hand up, and waggle. Again, grip it down on the steel, base of the fingers, vacuum seal. Lead hand, back of the hand faces the target, slide the right hand up into position, practice my waggle. Good players do this almost as a nervous tick. They just pick up a golf club and this is what they do. So these are the people who hit the ball really consistently. If you want to be consistent too, make sure that you form and maintain, because this is a perishable skill. If you don't do this on a daily basis, just a couple of minutes, your grip can start to slip, and over 6 months' time, you might end up with some goofy variation of it that is causing you to be inconsistent. So revisit this fundamental for a couple minutes a day. Now, with the help of a full-length mirror, another thing that consistent players do is they check their setup every now and then in front of a mirror. So I've got this full-length mirror. I can practice first putting my grip on. I can practice having about a 30-degree bow with a reasonably straight back, something like this. And then I can check and see that my feet, shoulders, and hips are all running parallel, just like this. So nice straight back, everything lined up with each other. If you just check that for 30 seconds a day in the mirror, you just have a club handy, you've got mirrors at home somewhere, maybe even a sliding glass door reflection, you can just check real quick every time you go by. This is what consistent players are a little bit obsessed over. You can also go so far as to just practice your takeaway. Make sure that your takeaway is not too far in or too far out, but a nice arc to take it back straight like this. Now, during the swing itself, there are 3 variables that consistent golfers control well. Inconsistent golfers do not. And those are these 3 things. Number 1, most important, control the low point. You've got to have the lowest point of your arc be in front of the ball so you can strike slightly down on it, catch the ball first clean, and make a divot afterwards. You also must reasonably control the face of the club. The face of the club needs to be returned one way or another to be square to your target at the moment of the strike. And 3, you've got to be able to reasonably control the path of the club, which is traveling in an arc, where at the moment it meets the ball at impact, that arc is squared up with your target as well. Now, low point and face are by far the 2 most important variables in a consistent golf game. Path can have some tolerance. Speed, of course, you'd like to have some speed, but you don't have to have a ton of speed to play consistent golf. Now, using a strip of tape and 2 golf balls, you can very easily, you can even do this at home. I'm just going to practice making small swings, striking in front of the tape, and at such a slow speed, I can watch the blur of the club passing right over those 2 golf balls. So, follow the arc, strike the tape in front. Now, here is what this drill looks like from the bird's eye view, or the GoPro view. You can make the club pass from the inside right over this golf ball, bottom out in front of the tape and scrape a divot there, and then go back around the arc over the other golf ball. So something like this. You can just practice this and practice controlling the low point and making that in front of the tape. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Consistent players practice or have practiced at some point during their life much more than you have. However, I think if you can spend a few minutes per day reviewing your fundamentals and practicing controlling low point and arc and club face with that small drill I gave you, it's almost like a little bit of a shortcut towards more consistent golf. You want to be able to control low point, path, club face. Speed is only 5th important. You can play a good consistent game of golf with just a little bit of speed. You don't have to have an overwhelming amount of speed. You're really trying to make your shots look more the same with less variation. And once you've practiced, like I just did, every day like that, you'll see that all the parts will start to naturally just fall in place as you've been rehearsing them all this time. So I've got 30-degree posture with the back straight. I've got hips, shoulders, and feet all pointing in the same direction. I've practiced my arc and my low point. I have some really good feel on how impact is going to feel. And now we can practice well. Again, what's most important here, I can just go through this natural routine now that I've rehearsed it over and over every day, a few times. Same thing, pull the trigger. And the shots look pretty much the same. That's what we're looking for, is less and less variation to your golf shots. Now, one more little tip for you. Go to the drugstore and get yourself a can of foot powder spray. Spray it on the face, like that. Hit some shots, because in order, once you've mastered low point control and face control, probably the 3rd most important is location of the strike on the face. Most students I have, they don't know after hitting a ball where the strike is on the face. So get some good feedback this way. You'll see Go through my same routine. And with that, you can check and see where on the club face you struck the ball. Now in this case, you can see a nice little semicircle there. I hit the ball right there, so very, very centered on the club face that time. You'll get about 5 to 10 swings out of this before you've got to recode it again. But you've got to know right when you strike the ball and you're watching it in the air, exactly what part of the club face you struck. With that kind of feedback, you'll get better at striking it right in the center. All right, so practice those fundamental ideas. I know you're just going to get more consistent with your ball striking. Now for more tips and drills like this, head on over to my website, hititlonger.com, where you're going to find hundreds of more articles, videos, as well as personalized instruction one-on-one with me. And between all these, I'm sure that we can help you improve your golf game. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.